Hey Naturally Curly World, I'm Nikki.
And I'm Evelyn.
And we're here with our friend.
I'm Shelesa from Pink Sugar Cupcakery.
And today we're going to be making some sweets because it's October, duh. And you're going to be throwing a killer, spooky Halloween party.
And don't nobody want them dusty, crusty, dry, store-bought cupcakes.
No. So today we're going to be making these red velvet blood splatter cupcakes with glass shards and these vampire kiss cookies.
Well, let's get started.
Let's.
So for the red velvet cupcakes, what are we using?
Okay, we're going to be using some unsalted butter, some white granulated sugar, 2 eggs, cake flour mix. This is Dutch processed cocoa powder, a little red food coloring, pure vanilla extract, and buttermilk. So first we're going to take the cocoa powder and the red food coloring, and we're going to mix them together because red velvet cake is just
chocolate and red food coloring.
Right. I knew that already.
She didn't know that.
Okay, so we're gonna mix these two together to make a paste, and it's gonna react with the buttermilk later on and make us a nice, pretty red color. So you can mix that.
Okay.
And how much food coloring was that?
You know, it's an eyeball, but it really literally is like 2 ounces.
Okay.
So, but I just can eyeball it now.
Cool.
So while she mixes that into a paste, we're gonna cream the butter, sugar, and eggs on the mixer.
Awesome.
So we've got
the eggs.
the eggs.
And do these have to be room temperature?
Yes, everything room temperature.
Room temperature eggs, 2 of them.
And this is a half a stick of unsalted butter.
Okay.
And this is 2 cups of granulated sugar.
Sugar. All right, so we're gonna go cream this in the electric mixer
Yes.
and be back.
All right, so we have our red velvet cake batter. You guys did amazing.
Thank you.
So we creamed our butter and our sugar and our eggs, and we added our red velvet paste to it that Nikki made. And then we added our flour and our buttermilk.
Okay.
And now we're gonna add the vanilla extract.
Cool. So how much of that do we add? That's this
We're
right
gonna
here.
add a tablespoon, pure vanilla
Get it
extract.
A tablespoon. Okay.
Not vanilla flavoring.
Real extract.
Pure.
Just fill it all up.
Flavorful. See that flavor profile there? Yeah. That's what they
Flavor
say.
profile.
That's what they say.
So we're just gonna fold this in
Okay.
until it's well incorporated. All right, I think that's it. And then we'll start scooping this into the cupcake tin in their liners. So we're gonna scoop, and we wanna get about a half a scoop, and then we just wanna dump it in.
Okay. Yeah.
Beautiful.
All right, so we're gonna finish this up, and then
We're gonna bake them,
bake them at
350 for about 18 minutes until you can stick a fork in the middle and it's clean.
Okay, so now that we have our red velvet cupcakes in the oven baking, we're gonna get started on the cookie dough for our vampire kiss cookies. So how do we get that started?
So we're gonna start with 1 cup of butter and the powdered sugar, which is also 1 cup. And we're gonna cream those together with the egg.
Okay.
And then we're gonna add in our flour, salt, and vanilla bean paste. So then you just get a little flour on your hands, you don't do that. And that keeps it from sticking, and you just push it all together until it comes together as the dough. And if it's sticky anywhere, you just sprinkle a little flour on it.
We'll just do that.
So you just keep pushing it into itself, and eventually it makes a ball. I wanna
Okay.
share.
You share. Okay, Mom.
You do like this till it comes together. So then we take it, you know, like this on our parchment paper, and I put a little bit more flour just so it won't stick. And we're gonna need to roll it out. And now we're gonna take our cookie cutter, and we're gonna cut out some lips for our vampire kiss cookies.
And how long have you been whipping up treats?
Professionally, about total about 4 years.
Okay.
It started off as a really accidental hobby.
Oh, what do you mean?
I was
accident.
watching Cake Boss, and I was like, I can do that. And it was my
And you
mom's
did.
birthday, and I couldn't do it. So I spent the next year teaching myself
Oh, wow.
how to do it. And then people started requesting my work. So from there, a lot of YouTube University.
Yes,
And
we believe in that.
here we are. So now we're gonna bake them for about 8 minutes at 375.
Awesome.
Okay, so our cookies are out of the oven. They are cooled, and now we're going to decorate our vampire kisses.
Yes. All right, so y'all made royal icing off camera.
Yes.
And there are plenty of royal icing recipes that you can follow, but
Do not use water. Use egg whites to thin your icing to the right consistency.
nice. So we have different colors and
Yes.
different consistencies. So take us through that.
So we've got white piping and white flooding consistency for teeth. And then we've got red piping and red flooding consistency for the lips. And then we've got a paintable black for the background of the mouth to give it that extra spookiness.
Yes. So we're gonna paint
The black on.
all the cookies with the black royal icing.
And we're just gonna dip it in. And we're just gonna brush the middle of the cookie
Okay.
from corner to corner. Not the whole cookie, just like where the mouth is.
Okay.
Okay.
And we want this to be thin so it'll dry really fast so we can go on. So we're gonna get our piping consistency red, and I use a tipless bag that I've cut the tip off of just to make it enough for me to make a line. So I'm gonna use even pressure, and I'm starting in the corner, and I'm just gonna outline the cookie. Wow. Like this. And if it messes up like that, don't worry.
That red is so vivid.
So it's lined, and now we're gonna flood it
And so
or fill it in.
yeah, so this consistency is like looser and
Yes, it's
spreadable.
way more liquidy, way more spreadable. So we're just gonna trace it and fill it in.
magic.
You don't have to get it all the way to the edge because we're gonna use our bamboo skewers.
Oh.
Oh, detail
That's what that's for.
And you're just gonna push the icing. We're not touching the cookie. I'm just touching the top of the icing and pushing it towards my outlines.
Oh.
Artistry.
So then after you do that, you just let this dry. You go do all the toplets for the other ones. And then we'll go back and do teeth. We're doing everything like in a
batch.
In
so
a
all
batch.
the top lips.
Yeah.
All the All right, so we just put the icing on of the lips of the vampire kisses. Some people got that big Kylie Jenner lip. Mine came out pretty well. So what's next?
So now we're gonna add the teeth. So that's that. So then we'll let these set up. We'll go through, do this batch of teeth,
Okay.
and then we'll go back and fill in the other teeth.
All
All
right.
right.
Y'all think y'all can do it?
We'll try, and then afterwards we just do the bottom lip, and then we're done.
And then we're done.
All right, so cookies, done.
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 Cupcakes.
Almost
done.
Okay, so we'll take these out so we can display them
Okay.
because they're really hard to get out if you decorate them in the tin.
Right.
All right, so we've got some cream cheese Swiss meringue buttercream here with a round tip.
We got some Swiss what?
Swiss meringue buttercream,
Swiss meringue.
which is a lot different than American buttercream. You know, American buttercream that you get on your Walmart, your H-E-B cakes, it's made with shortening and it's really, really sweet and it crusts. This
Americans.
buttercream is really silky smooth, light and airy because we make it into a meringue first with egg whites. And then we add our sugars and our flavors and cream cheese. So we're gonna start to pipe this cupcake. We're just gonna start here and we're just gonna swirl it up.
Yes.
You got it, Nikki, right?
Yeah, girl.
So you start towards the middle, push it out, swirl it up.
Yeah, like a little marshmallow.
A little dollar.
Easy, a little-
Go ahead, girl.
All right. You said to start here.
Yeah, you're gonna squeeze and move at the same time.
Squeeze.
I'm gonna use another
And
Wow! That's pretty good. Just a little bit more pressure.
Okay, a little bit more pressure.
And you can use your other hand to push the tip where you want it to go.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, wow.
All right.
Not bad. Okay, my turn? Okay.
So get it all tight, and then.
You know, I got weak wrists, so.
Oh, okay. This looking good.
Oh, that is a creative dollop.
It's like a little turd, but you know it's all good.
Let me, okay.
That's a dollop.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Ooh.
Okay.
That is.
Really nicely iced. Real nice.
So we're going
All
to
right.
keep doing this.
I'll just ice these real quick.
Okay.
And then you guys, the icing we used earlier on our Vampire Kiss cookies to flood, we're going to use that same icing to do our blood splatter. So we've got our sugar shards. This is cooked sugar that I smoothed on a baking sheet. So now we're just gonna take these and put them in the cupcakes.
Ooh, lethal.
So they look extra lethal and frightful and delightful.
We're done.
We did it.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
It's a lot of work, but if you don't have the time to do all that and you want some beautiful cookies for your next Halloween party, go ahead and get yourself the box from Pink Sugar Cupcakery.
Yes. Tell us more about the box.
Okay, so every month we're gonna curate a dozen cookies that are seasonally themed, decorated, and flavored. And they come straight to your doorstep.
Thanks so much for watching. In the comments below, let us know what you're making for Halloween. And if you want more information on Shelesa and Pink Sugar Cupcakery,
You can go to pinksugar.austin.com for the monthly cookie box, which you can pre-order now. And you can hit me up on Facebook or Instagram at pinksugar.austin.
If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, comment, share, subscribe. We post every week, so we'll see you next time. Bye.